Hey there, all you fine, happy people. Welcome back to another Gun Workshop. Today we'll be covering what used to be the undisputed champion at the top of the worst weapon in Modern Warfare leaderboard. However, especially since I think they buffed the weapon slightly since it was available as Warzone ground loot, the Uzi really isn't that bad. I'd even go so far as to say it's a good weapon in my humble opinion. This weapon hails from the sandy shores of Israel and is chambered in 9mm parabellum. It has a decently slow fire rate, especially for an SMG, at a little over 600 rounds per minute. However, much like the AUG, the Uzi is capable of a very fast 2-shot headshot kill at its closest damage range. Along with that, torso shots up close will net you a quick 3-shot kill, meaning the Uzi falls into my favorite category of slower firing, higher damage weapons. Keep in mind, these are all for the base ammo. I'll get into this weapon's unique conversion kit a little later in the video. Before I get into that, however, I'd just like to ask that if any of you are looking for some builds for a particular gun, feel free to suggest it down below. I read every single comment I get, so you could very well dictate the next Gun Workshop video. Also, if you want to play a few rounds with me sometime, my Activision account number and my Xbox GamerTag are both in the description below. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of this weapon. Starting off in my usual fashion, I offer you all my super close range build, the Bodyguard. We start off with the 8.5-inch mini factory barrel to increase our ADS speed and movement speed while costing us control and range. I remove the stock, doubling down on the mini barrel's pros and cons. I next use the stippled grip tape for overkill in the ADS department while decreasing our sprint out time as well. Next, I use the unique 41 AE rounds for increased damage and range while gaining nothing in terms of total ammunition. And I round this build off with the operator foregrip for boosted recoil control without hurting our ADS speed too much. The Bodyguard is named as such because you can see by how small it is that this weapon could absolutely fit under a Secret Service agent's jacket. This weapon is built for maximum speed and handle. The effective range of the weapon is slightly reduced by the mini barrel, and the recoil is increased a noticeable amount as well. However, given that this weapon will have you moving so fast and having you so close to your enemies, both of these downsides won't be too prominent in most standard multiplayer situations. The operator foregrip has no movement penalty, unlike many of the other foregrips, so this variant, built as this is, will have you moving even faster than someone with a lightweight pistol. The biggest deal about this build is the 41 Action Express rounds, also known as 41 AE rounds. This ammo conversion kit boosts your damage range, helping to counteract that loss from the mini barrel, and the damage is increased as well. The only downside of these bullets is slightly more recoil. When it comes to damage, however, the limb damage multiplier that all SMGs have is completely removed with the 41 AE rounds, meaning that at the closest range, no matter where you hit your enemy, you only need a max of 3 shots to get the kill, making this build very forgiving in terms of where you aim. After all that being said, this build is only good for standard multiplayer. Ground War and Warzone just require increased ranges that this build simply can't handle. Showing off how this Israeli weapon can work at longer ranges, my high profile variant will have you taking on enemies at much further ranges than an SMG should be able to. We start off in the barrel category again with the FSS Carbine Pro barrel to significantly increase our range and bullet velocity, while also helping to fight our vertical recoil. The TAC laser makes an appearance to mostly help even out the ADS department. The FSS Close Quarter stock is there to improve our ADS speed and help us further counteract the slowdown caused by the carbine barrel. We again use the 41 Action Express rounds and the operator foregrip. Statistically and aesthetically opposed to the Bodyguard in every way, the high-profile Uzi looks to utilize all the benefits of an SMG and stretch them out to ludicrous ranges. The FSS Carbine Pro barrel gives a huge boost to our damage range, about 25% I believe, while also boosting our bullet velocity and reducing recoil, which allows us to more effectively target further enemies. The TAC laser and CQC stock help to mitigate the losses we take in the ADS department while also keeping our aim more stable. The 41 AE rounds and operator foregrip are here for the same reasons as they were before. With this build, you can almost increase the effective range of the Uzi by 150% of the base ranges. This pushes our range out into assault rifle territory while still maintaining the mobility and handling of the fastest SMG in the game. This build is great for standard multiplayer and ground war. However, if you do want to make this into a Warzone class, I recommend removing the TAC laser and throwing on a monolithic suppressor, and swapping out the CQC stock with some form of reflex optic. I use the Viper optic. For a weapon that I absolutely detested picking up in Seasons 3 or 4, using the Uzi in multiplayer to level it up was honestly a blast. It was surprisingly similar to my favorite SMG, the AUG, in terms of damage and ammo capacity, but something it does have over that weapon is criminally low recoil. The 41 AE rounds do make the gun kick a little more, but I honestly feel they're just a requirement for this weapon to be the best that it can be. The bodyguard will definitely not be for everyone, as the recoil can be a bit much at longer ranges, but just like any of these weapons, if you use it enough, it will definitely turn into one of the most fun weapon variants I've ever come up with. The high profile build is probably the all around best build for this gun, as it's good at all ranges and there's less of a learning curve when it comes to using it. If you're unsure of the Uzi and want a safe, effective build, then the high profile is for you. And that'll wrap things up for my Uzi gun workshop. I'd really like to know that, after the introduction of the 41 AE rounds, how are you guys feeling about the Uzi? Have you tried it yet? If so, let me know your thoughts on the weapon in general and how these builds end up working for you down in the comment section down below. If you like this video and all it entailed, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. Even if you don't do either, I really appreciate your time and I'm hoping you have a great day ahead of you and a great Sunday morning behind you. This has been your host, Doodleman149, and as always, I will see you later.